Hi there, welcome to Pilates in a Flash. This is your 30-minute Pilates video. Today you're going to need 2 hand weights or cans. I'm going with canned beans today. They're a little heavier than the coconut milk I've been using. If you have hand weights at home, they're going to need to be 1 pound, 2 pound, or 3 pound weights. Nothing heavier than 3 pounds. You're also going to need a small light pillow, okay? So something small and fairly light. And always make sure the space where you're working out is safe and clear of anything, and that you always take the video at your own pace. Okay, so if you need to modify or you need to slow it down, please do so. Okay, today we're going to get started on our back with our pillow in our hands. Okay, coming on down onto the mat. I'm just going to move the weights, one on one side, one on the other. So we're going to use them fairly quickly. Take a big deep breath in and let the air out of the mouth. Okay, one more time. Breathe in. Good. So you're feeling for your neutral spine. Your head is on the mat. Your ribs are down on the mat. There's a little curve in your low back. And your pelvis is a little bit neutral, somewhat neutral. So your hip bones and your pubic bone are somewhat flush. Okay, comfortable for you. Okay, I know for myself I need to push my pubic bone a little bit away from me so that my pelvis is a little more neutral. When I do that, then I have to kind of engage my upper abs to get those low ribs on the mat again. So as soon as I move my pelvis into a neutral position, I have to work a little bit harder through my core to bring my ribs down. Now my spine is in a neutral position. From here, I'm just going to reach my arm bones up towards the ceiling and then lower them down with the pillow between my hands, just to start. So we're just finding some shoulder movement. Okay, as we breathe in and out. And I'm feeling for my shoulder blades reaching away from the spine and then coming towards the spine as my arm bones sink down towards the mat. Really gentle for 3, for 2, for 1. I'm going to round my arms and I'm going to open my arms up, and then I'm going to trade hands with the pillow, open and close, okay? So again, we're moving our arm bones, but we're also feeling for movement in our shoulder blades. So our shoulder blades kind of come towards the spine, and then move away from the spine as the pillow trades hands. And I'm not moving my spine or my rib cage to do this. So I'm not arcing up towards the ceiling, right, to move my arm bones or my shoulder blades. Good. We're going to go for 3, for 2, 1 more. I'm going to pause in the center. Arm bones are up towards the ceiling. Level the pelvis, get the ribs down. So I'm gently engaging my core just to start, right, to keep my spine and pelvis in neutral. I'm going to sink the arm bones down towards the mat. So that means I'm going to make my arm bones kind of heavy towards the mat. I'm going to bend my elbows a little bit, and I'm going to squeeze the pillow and release. So the squeezing is really gentle to start. Really gentle, because I'm trying to feel for the upper arm bones and the ribs underneath those arm bones, helping me squeeze the pillow. So I'm thinking, I'm going to squeeze my arm bones towards my body to feel for more underarm area. So I'm just gently activating underarm area. So that's important because underneath the arm bone, underneath your armpits are your ribs, okay? You're also engaging your pecs, which is great. And you're also possibly engaging your obliques as well, so sideline of the body. All these are great muscles to help us keep our shoulder blades stabilized in the bigger movements that we're going to be doing coming up. So we're just trying to activate them and warm them up. Good. From there, you're going to put the pillow between the upper inner thighs. Feet are kind of close together. Okay. Level the pelvis, bring the ribs down, grab the weights. Good. And we're going to go back to that opening and closing now with our weights. So we're going to open those arms and close them. Good. We're feeling for the abdominals pulling down towards the mat. And we're going to inhale as we open and exhale as we close. I'm going to squeeze the pillow really gently with my upper inner thighs, and I'm going to pull my low belly down just a little bit. We're going to go for 3. Good. We're going to go for 2. Chest doesn't raise up, right? Those ribs stay anchored as the arm bones move. 1 more. Good. Perfect. We're going to make this a little bit harder. We're going to bring both legs into tabletop. So gently bring the legs up into tabletop. Pause. Anchor the pelvis, get the ribs down, pull the belly button down, and now we're going to open and close. Okay, open, and close. So ribs continually pull down towards the mat, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to squeeze the pillow really gently, upper inner thighs engage, low belly pulls down for 2 more, for 1 more. Good. We're going to bring our legs down. We're going to bring the weights together here, shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to squeeze the pillow a little bit, and I'm going to rock my body over to the right and then back to center. So it's less of a rock, more of a controlled twist because I do have weights in my hands, and I'm not going that far. I'm only going a little bit because my abdominals are working to move my rib cage. My obliques are working to help me move my rib cage. My hips and my knees are not moving, and my low belly is keeping that pelvis nice and stable, okay? My arms don't stretch any further than what they should, so the arm bones stay kind of heavy towards the mat. We're going to do 2 more, and I'm going to encourage you to pull your belly button down, but keep a little curve in the low back, and feel for just the ribs moving on the mat. 1 more right here, back to center. Perfect. Arms go down, legs come back up into tabletop. Breathe in. Okay. From here, you're just going to give the little pillow a squeeze. So you're just going to squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Right now, my breastbone's kind of flaring up towards the ceiling. I need to breathe in a little bit deeper. Okay, puffing up that area between the shoulder blades, trying to get that area down on the mat, all the while keeping anchored in my pelvis. So my pelvis is starting to tip up towards the mat. I'm squeezing and releasing while I work through this neutral spine and pelvis and try to hold that in position. And I'm going to keep a little squeeze here on the pillow. I'm going to send my legs over to the right a little bit, doing a little motion to the right, then back to center. Squeeze the pillow, gently pull the low belly down, send both legs over to the left. So we're doing a little hip sway here, and it's actually quite challenging. We're not rolling on our low back. We're moving just the pelvis across the pelvis to peek the opposite bum cheek up. So when I go right, my left bum cheek peeks up. When I go left, my right bum cheek peeks up. But my ribs, bring them down, stay anchored. Ooh, they want to pop up today real bad. So I'm going to pull in. Sway the legs really small, a couple inches will do. 1 more. Low back is supported by the belly button pulling down towards the spine. Good. Feet down on the mat. Keeping the pillow there, we're going to go right into bridge. So push into feet, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling, and lower on down. Lift and lower. Good. Breathing in and out. As I lift my pelvis up, again, it's a neutral bridge to start. So pelvis is nice and level as it comes up towards the ceiling. There's a little squeeze in the pillow up at the top. So using the inner thighs just at the top, finding for hamstrings to help me lift by pushing my feet hard into the mat. Bum cheeks come towards each other, not under. We're going to hold up here. I'm going to come halfway down and up. Halfway down and up, continually pushing into my feet. So let's feel for those feet. There we go. Hamstrings are on. I'm squeezing the pillow gently with my upper inner thighs, which are starting to shake a little, but my bum cheeks can be engaging and then letting go a little bit as I lower on down, right? So I'm not continually holding the bum. It releases and contracts. Releases and contracts. Okay, for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, low belly on 2, belly button towards the spine. Good. Lift and articulate your way down. Okay, breathe in, push through the feet, lift straight up, and slowly articulate your spine down towards the mat. 1 more time, push into feet, lift the pelvis up, slowly land the spine, the mid-back, the low back, the pelvis onto the mat. Push into feet, lift on up, squeeze the bum cheeks, okay? Squeeze the pillow. You're going to open your legs a little bit, and then you're going to squeeze them close. And if your pillow is like mine and it's kind of big, you're going to aim to try and tap the knees. Not going to happen, but that's okay. My pillow's a little too big when it's crunched this way. Okay, so you're going to try your best to perhaps touch knees, maybe, but it's okay if it doesn't happen. Pelvis is supported by squeezing the bum cheeks towards each other. You stay heavy in your feet. Okay, you're just trying to push the knees a little bit closer together with the upper inner thighs. We're going for 3. Okay, no gripping in the low back. 2, pull the low belly down. 1 more. Good. Lower it on down. Excellent. Get rid of that pillow for now. Okay, Legs go long, hands go behind the head. Ab curl to start, so shoulders away from the ears. Okay, elbows are not crunched around your face, they're in your peripheral vision. Your eyes look at your breastbone, then you curl to come up, pushing your breastbone back behind you, and you uncurl. Good. Ab curl to come up, belly button pulls down. Low belly holds that pelvis nice and still. There we go. Pubic bone doesn't get to move, okay? You keep a little curve in the low back the whole time. We're gonna bring our right leg up and a little kick and then lower on down. We're gonna bring our left leg up and a little kick and lower on down. We're gonna make sure that we anchor through the left leg when we raise the right. We anchor through the right leg when we raise the left. The pelvis doesn't get to move as we do this tiny little kick of the leg. Good. We're gonna go for 4. We're gonna go for 3. Heavy in the opposite leg, 2. Curl the upper spine, eyes stay low, 1. Good. We're gonna bring our right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee. We're gonna come up into that ab curl and we're gonna extend the leg and then bend the leg. Extend and bend for 1 more. Good. We're gonna hold the leg out. We're gonna open the leg and close the leg, but there's no tipping of the pelvis. We're heavy on the left side, right leg moving. Keep that ab curl open and close. 1 more. Open, close. Lower it on down, left leg comes up. Ab curl, leg comes up, and we extend it and bend. Heavy on the right side, so push down that right thigh, okay? Hamstring and calf into the mat. Good, making sure the hips stay square. One hip isn't kind of hitching up. Good. 2 more, ab curl, eyes on breastbone, push the breastbone back behind you. Okay, let the leg go long and pause, heavy on the right side. Open the leg a little bit, close. Open it a little bit and close. Watch the rock of the pelvis. My pelvis wants to move with it. 1 more, open and close, lower it on down. Excellent, we're gonna bring our legs back up into tabletop handstand behind our head. Come up into that ab curl. We're gonna extend that right leg and do a little twist towards the left, back to center. Extend the right leg, a little twist towards the left. You keep the curve in the low back, keep pulling the belly button down. You're just moving through the breastbone and the rib cage to move towards the left. It's very small. We're not rocking, it's controlled, okay? 1 more, little twist, back to center. Now left leg goes long, we go towards the right. Left leg goes long, we go towards the right. You can uncurl if you need to take a break, okay? Or you can stay in that curl, but you gotta keep pushing that breastbone back behind you. Keep anchoring the tailbone to the mat. 1 more, little twist, and back to center. Good, legs come down. Excellent, guys. We're gonna roll onto our right side. Coming up onto our right forearm, flexing our feet. Okay, shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna do a couple of rib arcs just to move our rib cage. And you're gonna breathe in and out. 1 more time. Breathe in and out. Excellent. Grabbing the weight. So if you have your weight in front of you, great. If you don't, try and find it. We're going to push into our feet and we're going to come up into that side bridge. Bottom leg is the anchor point, right? So push hard into the bottom leg. Little curve in the low back is still there. Lift the hips straight up towards the ceiling. Pull the belly button in, okay? Pushing into that bottom leg should make you feel the bottom waist working. Making sure that things are lined up. Okay, we're not arcing our ribs too high that we're crushing the bottom waist. Okay, we're not arcing our hips too high, bum cheeks towards each other. The weight comes up, okay, we're just gonna bring it down towards the hip and then up towards the ceiling. Down towards the hip and up towards the ceiling. Good, for 2. 1 more. Excellent. Weight stays up and then we rotate our rib cage just a little bit and then bring it back to center. Rotate the rib cage just a little bit. Hips don't move. Back to center. So it's small. Rib cage rotates. Eyes follow. Good. Back to center. Lower it on down. Good. Okay. Top leg is going to be long. Bottom leg is bent. Doing some side bum action. Okay. We're going to lift and lower that top leg. Spine is nice and straight. Eyes are forward. So make sure you're not curled over your body like I normally am. Okay, take a nice big deep breath in. You can close your eyes and you got to think about it, right? So my oblique is off the mat, okay? My low belly is pulled in. My belly button's towards my spine, my hips are on top of each other, my leg is long. For this lovely leg, I need to think about rotating my knee and my toe just a little bit more towards the ground so my leg is in a little bit more of a parallel position. As well as I lift, that top hip wants to rock. I can't let it rock. So I have to really concentrate on keeping that pelvis nice and still, especially at the top height, about right there, okay? We're gonna go for 5, side bum and hip, 4. Okay, if you feel back of bum, you need to rotate the knee towards the ground a little bit more. If you feel your hip, quad and hip flexor, you need to move the leg back behind you a little bit, okay? So just the thigh bone has to go back and you lift from a little bit further back. And actually, that helps for me too. Good, okay? We're gonna hold it up. We're gonna do a small little pulse. It's not fast, it's just half the distance. There we go. I need to rotate my knee towards the ground. I'm gonna point my toe. Good. We're gonna go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, pause, flex the foot, okay? And all you're gonna do is rotate that thigh bone down towards the floor and rotate the thigh bone up towards the ceiling. Rotation of that thigh bone, but the hips don't move, the low belly stays pulled in, the oblique stays off the mat. Rotate and find the direction that really is hard for you. This one is internal rotation, so towards the ground is hard for me. And I'm going to try and go there a little bit further. We're going to go for 4, rotate, towards the ground and towards the ceiling. 3, think upper thigh bone moving. Don't lose the height of the leg. 2, good. 1, point the toes, circle the thigh bone. So we're circling for 3, but the pelvis doesn't move. For 2, low belly in. 1, you got to go the opposite direction. Circle back. Pelvis doesn't get to arc, right? Low back doesn't get to arc. Nothing moves as you swing the leg back behind the hip a little. Lift it up towards the ceiling. Bring it forward in front of you. 1 more. Back, low belly in, oblique on, up and around. Excellent. Lower it on down. Good. We're going to go hands and knees for a second here. Rounding, breathing in. Pull the belly button up. And then extending. Okay. Just going to fix my shirt up around my shoulders. We're going to do it again. We're going to round. Pull the belly button up, 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 up. Drop the head, tuck the tailbone under. And then we're going to extend. Excellent. Okay. So you're going to use the weight, if you can, as a marker point. Okay, we're going to do a mini push-up from our knees. Okay, but first, before that push-up, I want to do our ribs. So our ribs need to pull up away from the ground and then down towards the ground. So we're moving that rib cage and really feeling for the separation of our shoulder blades on our back. As we move the rib cage, the shoulder blades kind of feel as if they're moving around the ribs as the ribs pull up towards the ceiling. At no point am I moving my low back or my tailbone. It's just the ribs, okay? We're going to lift it up and lower down. Lift it up, lower down. One more time. Lift the ribs up, lower down. Now you're going to lift the ribs up. You're going to send the knees back behind you. You're in a plank position, right? Hands over under shoulders, ribs lifted, tailbone out, bum cheeks squeezed together. Hold. Let's hold this plank, okay? I don't want you to feel like you're sinking your breastbone at any point. Breastbone stays up and the shoulder blades stay wrapped around the rib cage. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to slowly lower down from our elbows and our knees. We move forward on our knees, right? So our knees are our hinge point. We're not sinking the breastbone down, okay? The breastbone can't move. That's the hard part. Breastbone stays lifted, tailbone stays out, shoulder blades can move. So shoulder blades glide along our back, and then the elbows lower us down as the breastbone stays lifted and we come back up. One more time. Breastbone lifted, shoulders away from the ears, tailbone untucked, bum cheeks squeezed together. Shoulder blades glide along our back towards our spine. Then we lower from our elbows and triceps, come back up. You should feel more side body, and it should feel significantly harder than if you let your spine come towards that marker, that can, or whatever you have there, or just the floor in general. So holding that breastbone up away from the floor and allowing the shoulder blades to come together on the back without squeezing them together and letting the spine come towards the floor. Should feel underarms, side body, triceps more instead of upper traps and neck, okay? Perfect. That is push-up round number 1. We're gonna swing on over. We're gonna come back to that push-up and make it harder, okay? So when you have the weight in front of us, you can double up the mat, reach that arm up, arc the ribs, let it go, arm comes up, let it go. One more time, breathe in, doing a nice little side bend. As my arm lifts, so does my rib cage. My rib cage comes up and over, and I feel the stretch between my upper ribs. Good, and let it go. Okay, pushing into the bottom leg, take the weight with you. You're gonna lift your hips straight up towards the ceiling. You're not gonna pop your pelvis towards me or the front of the room. Bum cheeks come together. Okay, low belly in, the arm comes up. Good, from here, you're gonna bring the arm down and then the arm up. And when you bring the arm down, you think about crushing something in your armpit. So arm bone comes in towards the body. We're gonna do one more after this one. Breathe in, low belly in, and then down. Now arm comes up and we rotate our rib cage a little bit towards the ground to follow the weight and pull the belly button in, rotate back towards the center. When you slow this down, you should feel side body helping you move your rib cage, okay, in that small little semicircle that we're doing right here, okay? Breathe in, belly button in, low belly on, push into the bottom leg, one more. Shoulders away from the ears, back to center, and down we come. Good, excellent. Coming on down, top leg is long, bottom leg is bent, okay? Eyes forward. Lift and lower, start to do it. Okay, you can adjust, right? So I'm gonna adjust, I'm gonna try and lift a little bit higher, but I'm not gonna move my hip to do it. I'm gonna send my leg back into space. I'm gonna make sure my hips stay stacked, even though I've sent my leg back, my hips don't follow. Okay, it's just the thigh bone that moves back just a little bit. And I'm feeling for right here, side, bum, and hip. Good. We're gonna go for 8, 7, 6, 5, watch the breastbone, 4, it's not pushed forward, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Lift it up, come halfway down and up, halfway down and up, halfway down and up. Keep it small. Okay, keep that feeling of the side bum working. Adjust anything, so drop the knee towards the ground maybe a little bit, internally rotate a little bit. Good, we're gonna go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Good, flex the foot, rotate the thigh bone down, rotate the thigh bone up. Okay, so we're just thinking about moving the thigh bone and twisting it down towards the ground and twisting it up towards the ceiling. One direction might be a lot easier than the other. Okay, feeling for our bum working, feeling for our inner thigh shaking maybe. We're gonna go for 4. Good. We're gonna go for 3. Take your time, pull the low belly in. Don't forget about stabilizing that pelvis. 2. Good. 1. Point the toes, circle the thigh bone slowly. We're only gonna do 3 and they're gonna be excruciatingly slow, right? Because when they're slow, you can feel if the pelvis moves or not. And I don't want the pelvis to move at all. You kick the leg forward, you lift the leg up, you bring the leg back, you lower it on down. The bigger, that's fine, as long as the pelvis doesn't move. And then do the back. So now we're reversing the circle, coming back, lifting up, bringing it forward, pelvis doesn't move. Whoops, there we go. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more here. Nice big circle, slow it down. 1 more. Feel for any tipping of the hips or breaking of the waist, right? That doesn't happen. It's just the thigh bone moving. Good. Okay, back to center. Lower it on down. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, coming onto hands and knees. Let me actually just swing it around this way so I can show you my shoulders. Good. Okay. So coming into high plank to start, shoulders away from the ears. If you need to come onto your forearms instead, that's totally fine to save your wrists if your wrists are a little bit tender, okay? So coming into high plank, I'm on my hands, bum cheeks squeeze together, shoulders away from the ears. Now lift the rib cage away from the floor, but don't tuck the tailbone under, right? So there's none of this action. Tailbone is out back behind you, bum cheeks squeeze towards each other so that there's a little curve in the low back. Ribs stay lifted up away from the floor for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Onto the knees. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come down onto our tummy and we're going to come back to that high plank. Okay, from here, fingers near the bridge of the nose. Eyes gently lift, face, neck, breastbone, and then lower it on down. You think a long spine, so squeeze the bum, pull the tailbone down, anchor the pubic bone. The top of the head reaches for the wall in front of you so that when you do this lovely back extension, the spine is in a nice lengthened, long state. There's no crunching, there's no compression in any portion of the back. Bum cheeks squeeze, pull the tailbone down, lower on down. One more. Anchor the pubic bone, squeeze the bum, pull the tailbone down a little, lengthen to the top of the head. Good. Okay, from here, you're going to need your weights. Okie dokie. So weights are going to come back by the hips. Faces down on the ground, shoulders away from the ears. Slide the arm bones up towards the ceiling and lower on down. Shoulders down, squeeze the arm bones in towards the hips. So arm bones squeeze, we lift our arms up as high as we kind of lift them past the hips, but we're not squeezing our shoulder blades on our back. We breathe in. We're feeling for the armpits underneath the armpits working again, okay? So that down there, you're going to feel for your whole back working really as you slide the arms tightly against the body up towards the ceiling, okay? That's what we're going for. We're going for lower portion of our trap, so back of shoulder, as well as engaging our lats to help us do this. So big, huge muscle in our back, helping us move our arm bones. Good. For 2 more, lift. Triceps are on, back of arm. 1 more, lift. Lower on down. Excellent. Okay. We're going to take the weights, and if it's okay for you, if it's too heavy, then we don't do it. We get rid of the weights. Head is down on the mat, shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to lift up my arms, and I'm going to bring them down towards my ribs. I'm going to float them back up a little bit, and then bring them down towards my ribs. Again, squeezing armpits. Okay. Floating the weights up. We're going to do 3. Anchor the pubic bone. We're going to do 2. We're going to do 1 more, shoulders down, squeeze the armpits. Excellent. Okay, weights go in front of you. Pushing back into child's pose just for a second. Okay, and coming in to push-up version number 2. So we're going to do it from our toes. You don't have to. I'm going to do like 5 reps as slow as possible, okay? So the slower the better and the harder. And I'm probably going to have to take a break. And that's okay. Why? Because my ribs are going to stay lifted, okay? And I'm going to feel more from my triceps working and my biceps. I'm not going to feel my neck. I'm going to use this kind of as a marker, although I'm not going to probably reach down to here, okay? So I'm probably not going to come as low as I can. Okay, but it's a marker for me to think about coming down and up. Coming into that high plank position, high up on the tippy toes, shoulders away from the ears, okay? Breastbone lifted, squeeze the bum cheeks together, untuck. Untuck that tailbone, there we go, low belly in. Now, shoulder blades slide towards each other as you start to lower down. Then they stop sliding because you're not going to let that rib cage fall, and you're going to lower from the back of arms and tip forward a little bit and then come back up. Legs are on, bum is on, untuck the tailbone, belly button up, ribs up, slowly come down, and then lower yourself down from the back of arms and then come back up. Good. 2 more. Squeeze the bum, thighs, ribs are up, lower on down, and then come down further from the back of your arm and push the tricep to bring you back up. You should feel more, okay? You should feel your whole body shaking to lower yourself down. 1 more, and let's do 2 more. 2 more, ups on the toes, bum cheeks, untuck, ribs up, lower down, and then lower further from the elbows and push to come back up. Ribs up, untuck the tailbone, shoulders away from the ears. One more. Lower down from the back of arms, come back up. Drop to knees, bring the arms down by the feet, head on the mat. Breathe in and out. Good, one more time. Breathe in and out. Excellent. You're gonna come up onto your knees. You're gonna cross your arms across your chest. Let's just move this way. And then you're just gonna rotate your ribs one direction really gently. And rotate them the opposite direction. Really gently rotating and rotating. Okay, hips and knees don't move. Okay, you're going to take your right arm and you're going to reach it up and over, gently doing a side bend. And then up and over, lifting the ribs and back to center. Great, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you felt obliques while you were doing your push-ups today, as well as thighs and bum. And I hope you have a great week. I'll see you again next time. Bye.